Prom. What comes to mind when you think of prom? You might think of people dressed up really nice to, going out to like a fancy hotel where the prom's being held, and it's a magical evening to treasure forever. Everybody's having a good time, love is in the air, there's magic there too. Well, maybe not Carrie, but you get the picture. This happened way back in 2002, like 15 years ago. My senior prom was looming on the horizon, and I was going to ask out this one girl that I had a crush on. And each time I tried to ask her out, I was always chicken out. Like, I would come up to her and clam up, and, that's how it was for me. I was really shy back then. So, I was always trying to build up my courage to ask her out. I was thinking of the perfect plan to ask her out, and I was going to ask her out that Wednesday evening. The Wednesday evening before prom. I was, getting my courage up, thinking, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, I'm going to be in like Flint, she's going to say yes. And then that Wednesday morning rolls around, and we have a pre-prom assembly, which is basically like the city coroner showing slideshows of like gruesome car accidents due to drunken driving. All the kids going, ooh, ooh, and like she's saying, remember kids, don't drink and drive. And then as we got up to leave, this one girl approached me, a girl I did not like at all. She was weird, basically like Queen Weirdo of the Weird's weird. And she said, hey Adam, would you like to go to prom together as friends? We could both buy stat tickets, we could go together as friends. I'm like, well, and then all her friends surrounded me and stared me down. I'm like, sure, Back then I was a guy who couldn't say no, so I was basically pressurized into saying yes. So I'm like, oh great, I'm going to the prom, well at least I'll have freedom, with a stat ticket. So then prom rolls around, and I get a black tuxedo that I got from my choir class and a pair of brown shoes. I know it doesn't go well together. I know it looks tacky, but I really didn't care because my original plan was flushed down the toilet. So I went to her house, and she was there, of course, and she was dressed in this 80s era lavender dress, that she made herself, and all this makeup kicked on her face. She looked like a circus clown. I'm like, oh, this is going to be an interesting evening. And her mom said, hey, come on, let's take pictures. I'm like, pictures? We're just going together as friends. Why do you want to take couples pictures? So we took pictures, and she's like, smile like you like each other. I'm like, thinking to myself, well, I'll do my best. Yeah. We took the pictures, and then we went to a nice little quaint Italian restaurant in town. I ordered the food, and she was eating her food like a beast from the hills, like burping, slurping, the whole 9 yards, like she was eating food off. She was even eating food off of my plate. I'm like, what are you doing? And I said to myself, I'm skinny as it is. I need my carbs and my protein to bulk up. I don't want to be 110 pounds forever. I was 110 pounds back then, pretty small. So then, as we left the restaurant, this one drunk guy staggered up to us and said, you guys going to a wedding or prom? I said, prom. He said, good, because you two look too young to get married. And he walks off, and I said to myself, I have no intentions of marrying this one. Since I didn't have a car, her grandmother had to pick us up. Her grandmother came in this minivan, we got in the minivan and drove off. And she said, hey grandma, put this tape in the tape deck. And grandma said, sure. Put in the tape deck, and the music came out sounding like circus music being played by a music box. It was really weird sounding music, and then they started rocking out to it like it's like Van Halen or something. They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh boy, this is if this is not an omen for a weird night, I don't know what is. So we got out and got to the prom. As we walked up to the prom, she latched herself onto me. I said to myself, this was a trick. She didn't want to go to prom together as friends. This was a way for her to get me to go with her. I'm like, oh great, I'm trapped now, there's no way out of this. And she latched onto me, and she stunk. She smelled really bad. She smelled like she got attacked by an army of angry skunks bad. And she was sweating profusely too. She was latched onto me, sweating like up a storm, like she was like a waterfall in human form. It was like nasty. And everybody was looking at us like, oh, look at the cute couple, look at them, oh, it's so cute. I'm like, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This is not a good night. The music itself was horrible. It was like techno music the whole night. Hardly any slow songs, which I'm thankful for, hardly any slow songs, but it was just not what you expect, And then time rolls around, and we're looking for a clock, to see what time it was. We didn't have cell phones back then, and I didn't have a watch, so we're looking for a clock to see what time it was. We're looking for the clock, walking around, and she said, Adam, do you know when you're looking for something, but it's right there under your nose? And I thought to myself, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. And then I said, I know, the clock, it can be anywhere. She's like, that's not what I meant. And I said to myself, I know that's not what you meant. I just didn't want to admit to it that it was what you meant. And then the last song, The Prom, was played, and she latched onto me and started swaying around, and I imagined this big neon sign flashing on my head saying, help, 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 help. And as time rolls around, the prom ends, and our grandmother picks us up. And there's going to be a post-prom party that night at the local YMCA. That went until like 3 or 4 in the morning. And back then, I could stay up to 3 or 4 in the morning with no problems. And she said, Adam, would you like to go to a post-prom party with me? And I said to her, I actually am really tired. I think I want to go to bed. Which was a lie. I just didn't want the night to continue any further with this one. So, and that's my prom story. Not the best night of my life for sure. And also, the girl I was originally going to ask out to prom never ended up going to prom. So I was always kicking myself in the pants, like I should have asked her. You know, she would have had a date and wouldn't have been this big, huge, epic disaster like mine was. Prom, not always what it's cracked up to be.